Hi, my name is Naya Patel. My student ID is 1014163336, and hereby I am presenting you my assignment 4 for COMP3122 Applied Data Science. So the purpose of this assignment is to get hands-on practice with Panda functions, and hereby I am presenting you what I did in my assignment. So first I will start with importing the necessary libraries, and I am importing pandas as PD. Next up, we need to download our CSV file and then store it in a data frame. So I have my CSV file uploaded in a sample data folder. So I will run this command, and as we can see from the output, this is the content of my CSV file. If it's not stored in any folder, you can directly upload it from your computer using this code which I have commented out as I'm using the above one. So next up, the question is to show the first three rows of the data frame. So using .head, I have showed you the first three rows of the data frame. Next is to delete the model column completely, like temporarily. So as we can see in the content above, these are the all the columns, and here is the model column which I have to delete temporarily. So using .drop function, I dropped it for temporarily. Next up, I have to drop the column permanently. So I will run this, and as we can see, this is showing the column names which are present there right now in the content. So as we can see, there's no column name as model. So we have dropped it permanently. Next up, I have to delete the first, third, and fifth row, and then I will need to show the first four rows which will be there. So let's see. As we can see in the output, the first, third, and fifth rows are deleted, and these are the first four rows after that. Next, I need to calculate the range of the column, like the mean of the range column. So let's see, and this is the mean using the dot mean function. Next up, I need to calculate how many F's are there in the type column. So let's run this, and as we can see, we have 50 F's in the type column. Next up, the question is continued. We have to replace the F with triple A. So using dot replace function, I have replaced the F with triple A. Next up is I need to remove the parenthesis and a dollar sign from the cost column. Then I have to display the first five rows. Also, I need to show the type of the cost column. So now running this, so as we can see, we have removed the parenthesis from the cost column, and these are the first five rows which are present there right now. And the next question was the type of the cost column. So the using dtype function we have checked, and it's an object type right now. The next question is to change the data type to integer. So as we have seen in the above question, the data type is object. Now we will change it to integer using s-type function. So now as we can see, it is converted to integer. Next up, I have to find the average of cost column, and then I have to find the average of cost for each continent. So let's run this. And as we can see, this is the average for the cost column, and this is the average according by continents. Next up, I have to find the minimum, maximum, and standard deviation of cost grouped by continent. So it will be in groups of continents. So using dot group by, I have find the output, and as we can see, these are the output: minimum, maximum, and standard. Next, I have to find minimum, maximum, and standard for all numerical columns. So as the data frame, there are different types, like there are all the different types of columns in there. So this one is particularly for the numerical columns. And let's see. As we can see, these are the numerical columns, which is ID, range, and value. And these are the minimum, maximum, and standard deviations for them. Next, coming to the next question, we have to make a bar chart of mean numerical columns by continent. So first we will find the mean and then we will put it in a bar graph. So let's see. And as we can see, this is a bar graph presenting the mean of numerical columns grouped by continents. So these are the mean values on this side on the y-axis, and these are the continent names on the x-axis. Next up, we have to count the number of each continent. So using value underscore counts, I will count the number of continents. So as we can see, this is our output, and we have also checked the type, and it's an integer type here. Next up, we have to find the percentage of each continent. So this is the output. So the next question is to show the unique values in the continent columns and show, let's check. So as we can see, which were the unique values in the continent column. So these are all the different values, and we have to find the number of unique value. So what's the number? It's total 7. We have 7 unique values in the continent column. Next up, we need to find the value counts of cost column. So let's see. And as we can see, this is the output. Next up, I have to create a histogram for the cost column. So using this functions, I have created a histogram. So let's see. And as you can see, this is a histogram for the cost. On the y-axis, I have kept frequency. On the x-axis, I have put the cost. Next step is changing the bean value to 50. So right now the bean value is 20. So we will change it to 50 and let's see what's the difference. And as we can see, as we change it to 50, this is a more precise histogram. So this is a better version for us to predict the values. Next up, I have to count the missing values in zip code column. Zip code column, type column, and then I have to find the summary of values for the null values for the entire data frame. So let's run this. And as we can see, there are 9 missing values and 2 in the zip code column and 2 missing values in type column. And as we can see, this is a summary of all the null values in the entire data frame, and these are the only two columns which have null values. Next up, we have to drop all rows with any missing values and count the remaining rows. So as you can see, it will remove these 2 rows and it will have the leftover. So the number of rows remaining after dropping all the rows. So these are the columns. This is the number of rows which don't have any missing values. So there are 936 rows at a moment. Now show the statistics for the type column using the value underscore count method. So let's try this one. And as we can see, this is the statistics for type column. Next up, we need to replace the type column missing values with triple X, and then I have to show the result again. So let's check. And as we can see, we have replaced the missing the value with triple X. Next up, I have to drop rows that have any missing value permanently and then show the number of rows again. So as we can see, there are 938 rows now after dropping the missing value rows permanently. Next is set the ID column as new index and delete the index name. So using the set underscore index function, I have given the output, and this is the output. And as we can see, these are the rows, first 5 rows after setting ID as index and then deleting the index name. The value, so also we need to find the value at ID 70 and the column is value. So as we can see, the number is 24. Next up, show the index, column, and shape of the current data frame. Reset the index and show again. So let's see. And I also have to reset the index and then bring back the ID column which we have deleted previously. So as we can see right now, so we have the current data frame, index, columns, and shapes. So in the columns, we can check we don't have the ID column right now, but after that after resetting, we have the ID column. Next up is use describe method and fetch the value of first row and third column of the result. So let's run this code and check what's the value. So as we can see, the value of first row and third column is 938. Next up is sort the value underscore columns of the continent column first by count and then alphabetically. So we need to sort the value underscore count first by numbers and then by alphabets. So let's see. So as we can see, we have sorted the values count first according to the number and then according to the alphabet. Next up, we have to show all the columns of row 1, 3rd, 5th, and 7th, and the first 7 rows of columns type and continent. So as you can see here, this is the first, 3rd, 5th, and 7th row. These are all the columns of them, and the first 7 rows of the type and continent column. So this is the type column and this is the continent column. Next up, show the value of the type that are equal to XXX. So as we can see, so the value of the type that are equal to XXX are these 4 values. And that's pretty much with my assignment. Thank you.